If you could single-handedly choose anyone, alive, dead, or fictional character, to be the next president of the United States, who would you choose and why? This thread just shows me that there are very few political leaders today that we universally respect and admire. I think a big part of this is that basically nobody is 100% good. Nearly everybody is living in these shades of grey, influenced by their upbringing, religion, beliefs, experiences, etc. Trying to do what they think is right to them. But what is right to you may not be right to me. Your experiences may be vastly different from mine. So to find somebody where most people agree, yeah, that person, they're good, is hard enough. And then they have to be famous enough for other people to know, and qualified for an immensely stressful job. Good luck. Another major problem is that extremely good and considerate people really hate, or are lack a lot of motivation, to get into a position in power. Captain Jane Luck Pickett of the Starship Enterprise, because he's a scholar, a gentleman, a diplomat, and a badass chief officer. Captain's log starred at -302,389. 84. I have been pulled back in time to govern the country, where they would not wear masks in the middle of a pandemic. I heard that in his voice. I can visualize the facepalm. Mr. Rogers. I mean, who could say no or be mean to him? Then he would be disappointed in you, and most people wouldn't be able to survive that. An old boss of mine gives off big Mr. Rogers vibes. Her disappointment is devastating. A fictional version of me where I'm much smarter and impervious to corruption should really be impervious to assassination. Damn. Phil Hartman. If for no other reason than Phil Hartman would be alive again. Hi, I'm Troy McClure. You may remember me from such /r/AskReddit threads as what is delicious but deadly, and what would you do with hydraulic arms? This is great. Somebody needs to create a Peter Explains the Joke type account, where they exclusively do this. Professor X. Because he knows everything. Magneto. Because Magneto was right. Both were right. One was radical and the other wasn't. Kind of like Chandler and Killmonger. I think they were originally based off of the ideals of MLK Jr. and Malcolm X. They were. The original X-Men comics were heavily based off of the civil rights movements in America. Sauron. The age of men is over. The age of the orc has begun. According to Tolkien's lore, it's about high time Morgoth broke out of his imprisonment and came back to Earth. That'll make 2020 even more interesting than it already is. It's about time for Dagadagareth, Get Elendil, Tulgus, and Turin, and we'll have a good row. I've always liked that prophecy. Would be nice for Thorin to finally get his revenge. Though he might still manage to find a way to mess it up. Either of the Rogers, Fred or Steve. Wholesome, moral, know when and who to rely on. Why not both? Have Steve as a VP, Fred as a president. So the ticket would be Rogers 2020. Roger Imperial March starts playing. Ben Wyatt. Ice Town costs Ice Clown his town crown. They were begin to rhymes. President Comancho find a smart person and make them deal with the serious issues is exactly the type of leader we need right now. Shit, I know shit's bad right now. With all that starving bullshit and the dust storms. And we are running out of french fries and burrito coverings. But I've got a 3-point plan that's going to fix everything. Number 1, we've got this guy not sure. Number 2, he's got a higher IQ than any man alive. And number 3, he's going to fix everything. Now I know everyone's shit's all emotional right now. I know everyone's shit's emotional right now. Terry Crews' delivery is so compelling. My god. Gandalf. Not sure if I'd pick grey or white though. He's Gandalf the Grey for the first term. Loses re-election. Then comes back for a rematch 4 years later as Gandalf the White. He wins 2 terms as Gandalf the Grey. Dies. Wins 2 terms as Gandalf the White. But nobody can be president for more than 2 terms. Yes. Nobody. But I have a shiny new body. Ew. Jed Bartlett. Minerva McGonagall. A warm reassuring personality, but strict and no nonsense. Indeed. And if anyone fucks around too much she will straight up set them on fire. which is an effective negotiation tactic. Effective negotiation tactic is one way to put it. My dude. Aggressive negotiations. My friend. Is there any reason not to pick Yoda? Well, he does run over minorities in his 2001 Honda Civic, MMM. And ketamine he does in the GD Temple locker rooms. Roy Mustang. I don't know, man. His policy of having all women officers to wear miniskirt may not be welcomed in this day and age. Okay, but consider, who the hell would turn down Roy Mustang? If he wants that, then we'd all be too amazed by his charm to do anything. The sheer amount of FMA fans would get him the vote. That cat who's mayor of an Alaskan town. Stubbs, I think. He'd do a good job if the residents there are to be believed. Stubbs for 2020. Meow is the time. Stubbs 2020. P grabs back. Fantastic. Perfect. Samwise Gamgee. Unprecedented loyalty. Commitment. Potatoes. Gamgee/Baggins 2020. Boil M. Mash M. Stick M in a stew. His stance on immigrants is tough. He was Shire Mayor and Councilman for the Northern Kingdom. He has the political experience. Elle Woods. Vote for Elle. She already passed Bruiser's bill and everything, guys. Commander-in-Chief. Rick Astley. He's never going to give us up. Never gonna let us down. Never gonna run around and desert you. Never gonna make you cry. Never gonna say goodbye. Obi-Wan Kenobi. He's not brave enough for politics. Well, better this than more Gundarks. Drive. Strange. Dude can literally see all possible futures. He will choose to do exactly the right thing every single time. Or he'll choose the one where we think he's doing exactly the right thing. LMAO exactly. The right thing long term may mean total chaos and anarchy now. Or a nuclear war that eradicates 90% of humanity but ends up with true unbreakable world peace afterwards. Would he choose the right path or the right path? Think in Gemergy. Considering the side he was on against Thanos, he would probably be against eradicating 90% of humanity. Maybe he was only against Thanos because he's purple. Atticus Finch. He knows law. So I agree. Bob the Builder. Can he fix it? Yes he can. You have my vote. Marie Kondo. She'd just start throwing away states and government officials BC they don't spark joy. Does this man spark joy? Asks Empress Kondo. He does not. The crowd roars in response. And he is thrown into the pit. On this episode we will tidy up and reorganize Congress. What we want to do first is to gather up all the politicians and put them in a big pile. Who would have thought that there are so many hiding in the closet? Holy yes, that was amazing. Palpatine. For a safer, secure society. And he loves democracy. He loves the Republic. Once this crisis has abated, he will lay down the powers you have given him. Anakin as VPBC, he will bring peace, freedom, justice and security to our new empire. Chewbacca. I just want to watch that Soto address. RRWWWGG Ragwaga. You know, he makes a very compelling argument. He'd win every debate. Cause, we all know what happens when a Wookiee loses. My girlfriend, cause then I'd have a girlfriend. AHH. So you went fictional. You wouldn't know her. She presidents for another country. Bender for president. I vote for Flexo. AHH, screw this. I'll make my own presidency. With blackjack. And hookers. On second thought, forget the presidency. Drive. Doofenshmirtz. Most intelligent man alive. Ruler of all 50 state areas. Good thing is he comes with Perry. So if Doofenshmirtz screws up, Perry will immediately fix it. Yeah, for sure. Zaphod B. Blabrax. Hands down him for sure. He's just this guy, you know, real hoopy fraud. Always knows where his towel is.